Hey guys, Dave here. Thanks again for tuning in. I wanted to go ahead and film a video on a particular knife topic that's been on my mind. It has come up before, although I'm not sure if anyone has truly focused on it. And that topic is a folding knife something you want to use in a hard use situation? Now, there's always going to be at least one who says if you want to use the folding knife in a hard use situation, you might as well use a fixed blade. Well, yes, that's true. And 9 times out of 10, I would agree with you. However, there is that one time where I would not. Suppose you're not at your home. Suppose you're out in the woods and all you have is a pocket knife. It doesn't matter which one it is. Okay. But suppose you only have a pocket knife and you are nowhere near any of your other tools. Okay? All you have is that one knife. What if you do need to use it to pry something open? What if you do need to open a can of soup with it and cut straight through the aluminum? It might damage your blade edge. It might scratch up your knife. What if you do need to use it to... I wouldn't advise this, honestly, but something like this could handle that. If you needed to stick this into a tree and stand on it, this lock would hold up, I have no doubt. Shock lock is extremely strong. With all the other components, pivot, screws, something that's robust, I'm sure it would. Or it definitely could. I know a lot of Cold Steel fans swear by their triad lock, and for good reason. Demko brothers know what they're doing when it comes to making a lock, especially Andrew. And like I said, this is just something that's been on my mind for quite a while. What if you needed to use a knife in a hard use situation? What's the best tool for the job? Well, generally you would say, depends on the job. If you need a flathead screwdriver for a job, that's the tool you use. If you need a Phillips head, if you need a monkey wrench, if you need a drill, it depends. Depends on the job. And generally, I would agree with you. I believe knives are made for cutting and really nothing else. However, there are times I do believe it can be used for light prying, maybe even more abusive prying. It can be used for honestly anything that your mind can think of in that moment. You have to realize, guys, that the best tool is the one you have available with you at the time. And if you don't have it, what else are you going to use? Think about that. I would like to hear your thoughts, your comments. Maybe you've thought of something in this topic that I haven't even touched on, and I'm just touching on it briefly. This is my Clyde Challenor Viper. Well carried. See his logo right here. M390, Rockwell 62 HRC. He does this right. So, sorry, I bumped the camera. Beautiful purple standoff that he did for me. Ceramic bearings. Extremely well made knife. Different locking mechanism. This is the Tetralock. This is the custom Allen Elishewitz M2 folder, Tetralock folder, in CTS 204P with his black snow finish. Very beautiful etching that he does. Does run on bearings as well. Now, Chris Reeve Small Sebenza in the Box Elder Pearl. Beautiful, isn't it? Magna Cut blade steel, Rockwell 63 to 64. I did put a not a deep carry, a milled MXG pocket clip. I love MXG clips. They really work extremely well. This was no exception. And honestly, Chris Reeve pocket clips that come standard with the knife are not generally my favorite. Anyway. Oh, I did want to mention, this is not part of the original topic, so my apologies for getting sidetracked, but see the lanyard hole in the lanyard tube? So what I did was, I learned this from another YouTuber, and I'll try to link his name down below. I cut off the lanyard tube, okay, as many do. Oh, hold on first. You don't hear any rattle, do you? That's because this advice from the other YouTuber worked. So anyway, I cut off the lanyard tube, right? Then I left just a little bit left into the tube, a little bit of the lanyard loop in there, and seared it with a lighter at both ends. The only way you can actually see it is because I'm focusing on it now, but you really couldn't even see it unless I mentioned it to you, to be honest. I mean, yeah, it might stick out a little, but that's just because I turned it. But regardless, works well, and there's no rattle. Most guys know what I'm talking about, especially Chris Reeve owners will know that there's rattle when you take the lanyard tube off. Excuse me, the lanyard off the lanyard tube. But now I don't have to remove it, and it has that beautiful Goldfish anodizing that matches the thumb stud and barrel spacers. Well, spacer, excuse me. Really well done. The color combination, beautiful. Anyway, different types of locking mechanisms. Frame lock, Tetra lock, shark lock. There are many others. Axis lock is very strong. Hogue's Able lock, which is their iteration of the axis lock. But anyway, I think I'm going to cut it off there. I did want to just ask that question. What are your thoughts? Should a knife be used in a hard use situation? Yes or no? Like I said, knives are generally used for cutting, and they should be. However, if you were in a bind, if you needed to use something in a pinch, would you use it to save your life? I would hope so. I know I would. Oh, for those of you who don't know, Alan Lishowitz is a custom knife maker who does not use any CNC machining, nor CAD work either. He only uses mills and lathes and other hand tools. If you haven't seen my top 5 custom knife video, go back in the small archive that I have of videos, which is not much. These 2 are in there. You can see the other videos. And I'll give you a little more insight on what my favorites are. I will have to do a separate knife video on the Tetra lock one day because it's similar to a button lock, but it is different. I want to gather the information before I'm just sharing with you my favorite, one of my favorite custom knives, excuse me. So anyway, I think I'm going to end it there. Thanks guys for tuning in. I'll see you again on the next video. Take care.